Hello, and welcome to another scene for Rage Across the 90s. Jacqueline is in the pack house. She's been up for a bit. Her shoulder is still kind of sore, and it shows the way she's not really favoring it, but she's doing that kind of thing, moving her arm up and down to work the kinks out. And she's going to poke her head out the door because Featherlight often gets up early, goes outside. She'll just reach out and then link. Hey, Featherlight, where are you?
Next door.
Awesome. You meet me in the barn? I've got some things I need to discuss with you.
In the barn. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that she goes out to the barn.
Yes, she does.
You know, the best thing about the barn is its feathers lights. You know the best thing about never sleeping? You have so much time to make so many creepy fucking things and hang them everywhere. Like, I'm sorry, but if Jacqueline was upset by the Blair Witch, this is a bad place to be right now, I'll put it that way.
I mean, on the one hand, they're creepy, but on the other hand, why are they so creepy? And she's not, like, Jacqueline's not nosy. She's not touching anything, but, she's just kind of like, huh, what is,
It's probably
what
the fact
choosing this for?
It's probably the fact that there's a vaguely human shape, but it's always kind of distorted. It's never right, ever. Not on any of them. Distorted in different ways, but never quite right. Sometimes hanging upside down.
Yeah, that is not a thought that Jacqueline lets linger too much in her head.
Smart girl.
We don't ask those questions.
I mean, not unless you really want the answers, and spoiler, you probably don't want the answers. The best part is you have just enough time to look around and be like, wow, this is fucked up. I hate it. I'm just not gonna, you know what? Man, look at that wall. And then, like, the barn door closes behind her.
Yeah, she turns around. Ah, there you are. Thanks for meeting me.
Here I am. What can I do for you?
I'd like to know what progress you're making on the method by which we're going to counter this person's mental control.
Mental control. Do you really think it's that advanced? She just prowls comfortably in. I don't know if you've noticed, but we have to tend to have an effect on people. Do you think other things don't?
Oh.
See,
I'm sure they do.
Here's the trick. If I like them, something's wrong. Just leaning in a little, like the little head cock. Just a little off, just to, ha ha ha. It's something fucking wrong. That's how. And if something gets in my head, it'll be something they've never seen before, won't it?
Yes.
As you can imagine, it's as cluttered in my head as it is in my barn. I'll just make sure it's a bear trap. Bad place to put your hand.
So, exactly do you need to make this work?
That was not English.
Oh. Hold on a second. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. So, what exactly do you need to make this work?
Head tips the other way. Well, if you'd like to go giving out personal secrets to help me with Trimanage, that would be wonderful.
There's a few I'd be willing to part with.
Oh, really? She goes over to where it's like she's got things like old blankets and stuff that the others haven't been using in ages, and there's places where she's just kind of plopped them on the ground, and she just curls up, sits cross-legged. Do tell.
Is it a secret if I tell you before I tell a spirit?
Well, you see, it's almost more of a secret if two people know,
Oh.
because that way it's something that's being held in confidence. If you're the only one who knows, she just plays the hands.
Hmm.
Well, that's no fun at all, is it?
What about 3 people?
I suppose 3 is enough. But now if you go spreading it all over the place, it's not much of a secret anymore, is it?
Yeah. Jacqueline will, she'll sit down across from Featherlight.
Featherlight is, at the risk of using this word, just positively chuffed. Like, yes, you do that. You settle it.
Well, in that case, Featherlight, I am bisexual.
The head tips, and there's kind of a look.
And it's something I've tried to keep very well hidden for a very long time.
Why?
Because when I have been attracted to girls, in love with a girl, the reaction from people who found out was,
I don't know where you keep walking with your headset, but it is making you distorted.
let me plug it in, see if that helps. Okay, is that better? Yes?
Hmm?
No? Okay, awesome. Well, because Featherlight, when I was attracted to a girl and in love with a girl, people found out, the reaction was that I was wrong and sinful.
You think Gaia cares?
Jacqueline actually stops to think about that for a moment.
And no matter how people lie to you, even animals are attracted to those of their own gender. I watch Animal Planet. My eyebrows kind of like pop up like, so there, roughly.
Truth be told, Featherlight, I did not stop to question it very much.
Perhaps you should stop applying so much value to the opinions of people who don't matter.
You are right. I should.
No, I'm afraid that won't do. I could say that I'm practically a praying mantis, and I'm fairly sure that most spirits would think nothing of it. She does lean forward, just kind of A, to distract Jacqueline from getting too off in her own thoughts, and B, to get, just to get her attention back on her, just lean forward. You'll have to think of something better than that. And for the record, just to make sure it is very clear, this isn't that Featherlight is being supportive. It's just, again, made very clear that Featherlight has almost no regard for human sensibilities and taboos.
Yeah.
It's just very flat. Like, oh, is that all?
Mm-hmm.
And I
It's
do that all the time. Good job. Give me something good, though.
so there's a moment. Featherlight can see Jacqueline is turning a few things over in her head. Until recently. I was considering moving forward with a plan to remove the alpha of the sept.
I've heard of betrayal from your kind, but not usually within your own tribe. How shameful.
She was put in a position of leadership that she could not handle. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not doing my job as a Shadow Lord if I don't advocate for her removal and show other people how unfit she is.
And how exactly? She leans forward like it's that slouch that means she can put the elbows on her knees and rest her hand and or her chin in her wreathed hands. How exactly did you intend to betray your own?
Once I believed I saw how the pieces of her plans, her machinations, fit together, some of them involving our own pack. I planned to go to the Sept Beta, make a case that she was unfit, and that he should challenge her for leadership. And if that did not work, then I had planned to try and convince David and Plastic Warrior. And if all else failed, then, well, I was considering challenging her myself. I am.
You think you could be alpha?
No,
Well,
I'm
you
not.
know that's what a challenge is. If you're going to challenge her station, it means you're vying for it. It means that if you win, you take it.
It does.
Do you think you were prepared to be alpha? Do you think you are even now?
No, no. I am not prepared to be alpha.
Then perhaps at the risk of running the exact same scandal on yourself, it is a good idea that you have changed your mind. But this secret will do. She finally sits up like, oh, but before we dwell on that, well, pops up.
Well, I'm glad I was able to give you what you needed.
Oh, and I will be delighted to see the effect it earns us. Or at least earns one of us. I do hope to get a good look at this man. On this side and the other. And I get the sneaky suspicion I know what I'll find. And with any luck, my mind will be either a steel trap or a bear trap. Oh, I do prefer the bear trap.
He looks like a man who has money at disposal and knows how to use it to greatest effect. Make himself look pleasant and
It's
well
like
dressed.
saying that his money means nothing to me.
Hmm.
It does afford one a certain clarity.
He acts like he wants to be a philanthropist, but the way he throws money around, either he thinks just giving money to anyone to get something they can't afford is some act of philanthropy, or he's not very good at managing his money.
So what you're telling me is that he will give me a great deal of money if he thinks it will buy me off. Which I can then give to the rest of you to use to some sort of, she kind of flops a hand. Useful endeavor. And yet it will sway me not at all. This suits me fine.
It might
I
not
do hope
be
he sees me at enough of a threat to throw money at me. That's always fun.
money. He might offer to buy you things or a specific thing.
Huh. Wouldn't that be something?
When I brought up the topic of my parents' inn, because that is where I thought I recognized him from initially, he got on the phone and he made a call to have an expensive basket of wine and food delivered to them.
So did you leave feeling charmed or disturbed? It does seem to be one or the other, and I'd love to know which was for you.
Both.
Oh, delicious.
To him, my feelings for him, he seems quite nice and pleasant. And if we knew for a fact he had no ties to any other tribe of Garou, I wouldn't be wondering if he's not being puppeted behind the scenes by someone trying to get in with a very well-bred Silverfang family and get some measure of direction in Alexandria's house and family.
Oh, do we know who he belongs to then?
No, he doesn't smell like kin.
No, you don't have to smell to be kin.
I know.
That's all right.
So that is what disturbs me about him.
Get my business to know things.
The truck's tires chew up road like a fucking hungry bear. Kick stones and dirt every which way until he comes to a stop in a cloud of dust. Getting dirt all over his brand new door that's nothing but primer coat and spite. The door flies open and David comes out a few steps before he stops, rummages around the back of the truck, and comes up with a tire iron. He makes a beeline for the quote-unquote haunted house and kicks open the door. The party can hear him rummaging around looking for something. There's a handful of banging noises that indicate more doors are being forced open, regardless of how spooky they've been made to be. They even find David on the roof at one point.
Oh yeah, don't worry. Hearing the bang of him going in instead of using her little secret way to slither in there will interrupt the conversation very thoroughly as Featherlight hears the slam and pops up and immediately slides out of the barn, heading off in that direction. So yeah,
It's not hard to spot that carrot top on the roof.
Jacqueline will come out shortly after Featherlight because that is a lot of banging. And that was probably David's truck, she heard.
I know, right? If you wanted to come visit, all you had to do was say so.
Where is he?
Where's who?
The bird.
Well, he's on.
Okay, that's fine. I can wait. I've got a lot of time on my hands these days as he climbs back down. I mean, he probably had to do something athletic just to get up there.
Is that what you were doing crashing through my house?
Eventually, Dave will be in a position to answer Featherlight.
She
He comes all the way back down.
Yeah, she just asked as he's climbing, like, oh, you're wrecking the whole house just to find him.
No sooner does he get out the front door of the house than he flings the tire iron petulantly. It bounces against the sideboard, leaving it forever pockmarked with rage.
You seem to be agitated, Raya.
You don't have any schemes going on, do you? That's a stupid question. Of course you do.
Is a smile like me? But he answers himself.
How about you, Jacqueline? You got anything I want to know about?
I can honestly say I don't, David.
A thought is
That almost sounds right.
A thought is just snaking through to Artemi like, oh my. It does seem that our dear Alpha is very agitated.
Yeah, a couple of seconds later, but Jacqueline will also reach out to Artemi and Link. You might want to get out here. David is. He looks like he's about to go off the deep end.
So Timmy, who's been reading Wormful reports with the big stereo headphones in, you know what I mean? So
It's a good day doing wolf paperwork.
Yeah, pretty much. She's just humming along to music, writing away, like, yep, sign here. Timmy Alexander's all right. You know what I mean?
So jazzed up on herself.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
God.
Look at that. Info. ... Then, David's off the
Get
deep
one of them
end.
wax seals.
Yeah, that's what she's debating. It's like, maybe I could convince him. And then, David's going to go off the deep end. And
One and
just-
then the other.
Yeah, Featherlight, Dave, it's Featherlight, so she's assuming, David's probably been wound up by Featherlight. You know what I mean? It's the initial assumption. Because it's Featherlight. And then it's Jacqueline's like, David's probably going off deep end, and Dr. V just takes off the headphones with the... eases up out of the chair, you know what I mean? Puts her paperwork away. And is just trotting down the stairs, putting on her jacket.
Although you do seem to be very agitated. Has something gone wrong?
Something gone wrong. Yeah, you could put it that way.
Oh.
He's trying to be calm. It's not working.
All right, so why don't we? And there, she starts and then realizes, no, wait, that's a bad idea. Why don't I get a beer and we can sit down and talk about this?
Were your parents coggies? Have I been blighted? Are you some kind of child of Gaia fucking spy? I've
Oh.
always wondered about you, Jacqueline.
What exactly have you wondered about me, Raya?
One more sly, mustache twirling, coquettish remark like that, and I will remove your tongue out of your head, and then I will beat you with the chain of command till you figure out who's in charge around here.
Featherlight is now 50% more into David.
Everything that's happened, everything that's gone on, the weakening of the sept, the raising of hits the ceiling to a post he should have never held. It was us. We always wondered, right? Why things were this way. Why everything was ass backwards. And I get to learn that it was us the whole time, because apparently Typhoon Shadow thought I was a fucking muppet.
Yeah, Featherlight's just going to live stream this audio so that Artemi has an idea of what she's walking up on. Not that she'll need it when she gets within a certain range. Just like oh my, this is spicy.
Yeah, I mean, she eventually just stops and just is standing there, arms folded. She's just like going to let him tirade for a bit so she can just listen.
And why is it us?
I had faith in things, Featherlight. I understand that you can't run around trusting anybody, but I had a certain amount of trust invested in my own tribe. We're supposed to guide things the right way. We're supposed to keep the nation running behind the scenes. We're supposed to oil the fucking machine. Typhoon Shadow was so confident. I mean, so confident that we were beyond the point where I could do something about it, that she just told me. She did it the entire time. And looking back, it makes sense. Our patrol routes made no sense. The thing of the packs made no sense. Nothing made any fucking sense. And the whole point was to knock us down to the point where we couldn't resist when whoever she picked rolled us over.
Okay. Okay. Whoa. What? She just told you that?
Maybe we should move this inside?
Yeah, we probably should.
I'll go make sure nobody's watching. I'll be only a moment.
David goes inside.
Yeah, she'll let the girls corral David, and she will disappear at least briefly to do a proper circuit, maul anything that isn't supposed to be there, or is looking too hairy, snarl it off, and we'll come back around and pop back into the kitchen. Probably about time they've got him settled in a chair.
Yeah. Jacqueline heads in. You know, she goes into the fridge. She pulls out a couple 6-packs, plunks them down on the table.
And then he just walks over and just takes the 6-packs of beer and just puts them back in the fridge. And just stands and just arms folded, leans up against the wall.
Featherlight slides into a seat. So expectant. Elbows on the table. Just waiting.
Jacqueline is pacing.
So what has our dearest Alpha done? Exactly.
She's intentionally undermined our defense so that when some other band of Guru comes in, they'll take the slot. Every idiot move, everything we scratched our heads about. It's all her. Now, I don't know if she wanted the Utena to come or if she was just guessing that's what it would take for me not to maul her on the spot. That's apparently the big plan.
Hey, Katana, didn't they say they were calling the Wendigo?
I can't even tell what level of lie that is anymore.
No, even if they intended to, they were never going to answer Shadow Moon.
Of course, she wanted to follow that up by infuriating the Utena, making an offer to help pacify the Wendigo, to cleanse younger brother of his rage. I would stab her in the throat if I were you, Featherlight. She
Their
said
eyebrow
that.
like rouses. Pardon?
Yeah. Keep that one in your back pocket. It's fun.
And when did she say this?
Today. She thought I'd just go along with it. She was so sure of herself. What reason did I give her otherwise? Been a good little soldier up till now, haven't I?
So she intends to try to placate the Uktena by offering to dull the rage of little brother.
And offer the sept up on a platter. Even calculated how many of us would get whittled off by the time they arrived.
Did she calculate how close she would come to despoiling a Karen?
Fuck knows anymore.
At least she had the sense not to say it then.
If she is to be believed, she took her orders from someone else. Someone I'd be very interested in meeting.
And she just said all this to you openly.
Why wouldn't she? I've been a good soldier. Followed my orders. She probably still thinks I'll hand Warder D'Amato. Fat fucking chance, by the way.
Unless you want to make sure he dies.
I'll win my bit.
I can assure you, once older brother does come. Because he will. There aren't going to be a lot of Genefeners holding position.
Then we flip the chessboard. Make sure everything's stacked before she can do her little stepping down act.
I've reached out to family.
Good.
That's something she can't account for.
Right now she's counting on steel calligraphy or somebody just handing her a baby cake stone of scorn over this shit. Or at least what she'll admit to in public.
That is the beauty of a Philodox, though, isn't it? She'll admit to everything or she'll end up being caught out as a liar.
She had the gall to blame me for getting played like a goddamn fiddle. Should have killed her right there.
A glance to Artemi just to see if she's still got the lean going. Does she whiten up?
She does. Doesn't say anything yet. She's just watching.
This way you keep your hands clean. This way you follow the litany.
You've heard her fucking talking. None of it makes... It's like listening to a crazy person. Somehow this all made perfect sense to her. That this was the way to go about things. I guarantee you they wanted either Angus or Mato as warder just because, well, can you imagine Mato standing up for too long? You know, unless he breaks his neck on the climbing wall.
Instead, she gets you. Her perfect little soldier.
Oh.
Who she probably still thinks will help her do it. Or Trixel frogs.
And if I hadn't taken the deal I did, if she didn't get David.
What deal?
Deal?
As all the heads turn. Like, oh! Featherlight's just like, oh, do tell, essentially.
Yeah. She looks at Artemi.
Whoops.
I told you about this.
The one with plastic warrior?
Mm-hmm.
Nod.
What deal with plastic wire?
He came to me and offered me a deal.
Did he offer you a contract too?
I would make an oath to him that I would make a good showing of challenging for Warder, but ultimately fail or relinquish the position so one with more experience could better defend the Sept of the Rising Valley. And in return, he owes me a request that I can call in at any time.
Not that, thankfully, Featherlight kind of gives the shrug, because, let's face it, if it really came down to it, she would have faced David, and, well, by hook or by crook, she imagines David was going to come out on top, so, yeah. So you've earned a favor at the cost of nothing.
Essentially, yes.
Does she still think that you will follow her commands, or does she know that you're angry? I'm looking at David.
Oh, she knows I'm mad.
But she thinks there's nothing you can do about it.
It's the vibe I got, yeah.
Which means, if she does glance among them, we still have a situation that we can manipulate.
She probably thinks that David will come home and we'll see he's upset. He might talk to us about it. Would only further solidify Artemia's dislike of her. And, well, to be frank, Featherlight, I don't think she sees you as much of a threat, and I don't mean that in any offense.
It just means she's stupid.
And then there's me.
I think you're making this too complicated and that she believes, very possibly, that no matter how angry David is, he will realize that fighting it is inevitable because she has made her plan too well.
That is a possibility.
If she does believe that, it's definitely a situation we can work with, don't you think? Glance over to David, like, come on, buddy.
Jacqueline will turn to David. Did you get told that there was going to be a meeting of all the Shadow Lords on Sept?
I think we just had it. Sorry you didn't get the invite, Chaplain.
Enough pettiness from
No,
both of you. Enough. Enough.
Jacqueline will hold a hand up. This isn't me being petty. I was told the same thing, but I wasn't there for this conversation.
At this point, I'd rather just saw her furry head off and be done with it.
No, that's too easy for what she's done.
And it also isn't how we submit to those higher in the station. That's not how we play the game. What rank is Plastic Warrior's Philodox? Does he have one? He does.
Yeah.
Foster.
There isn't one higher ranking on Sept, is there?
Not that I know of. I think the
That's
old
fair.
man was Jack's back, but he's a fostering too.
Leaving the Athrophilodox at the center of this.
No, thankfully she can't play judge at her own sentencing, can she? Her own trial?
No, but she's at least 2 ranks higher than most.
She is. But there's been a lot of needs must on this Sept. If someone has to be called into question and the highest rank Philodox there is a foster, then they are the ones that we'll have to do. And if someone owes us a favor, and that is his packmate, and he is conniving enough to try to use things like contracts, he's certainly conniving enough to go head to head. And to find the truth, isn't he? This doesn't have to be immediate, of course. You can wait till the family gets here.
Our packmate is one of the family, so how trustworthy is our beta?
Pardon as I take a quick sneaky peek through all these people again, because keeping up with this has been...
It does call him into question.
Especially
No,
since
Kenny, you've got like the highest empathy score. David is fucking too mad to think straight.
he's the one who is telling me that he's going to challenge her for it.
I'm sorry, who is this?
Sounds like thunder.
Thank you.
He's an Adrian now, beta of the Sept, and formerly Wormfoe. Still, calligraphy has been found and returning. I imagine that's where she's getting her cockiness from. So how much is this all being played into?
I do not yet fully doubt Sounds Like Thunder, but the family I'm talking about is mine. And they are as big as he is, or bigger. I've sent word to my mother's pack.
Just gives a spread of his hands. I'm just pointing out the point.
Do
It's not
not.
just a Shadow Lord problem.
Oh, no. No, it's not. She does glance over to David. Did she brag about others being aware and unable to do anything about it, or helping her?
I don't know. She made a point of picking out me and the rest of you too. Odds are the crow knows more than he's saying, so I was looking for him.
Then he'll talk. You can't lie to me. And if he does, well, we'll see which bleeds out first. His lies or his soul.
I suppose that if he wants to survive, he'll need to decide on a new team to support, won't he?
True. How much has he been privy to conversations such as this?
Not often.
Like the one we're having now.
Yes.
Unless he reads lips very well and is constantly watching through the window. Not likely. And I don't talk about pack business with him.
Not about pack business, about Sept business.
I don't talk about that either.
But he does go places during the day.
Mm-mm.
And he does seem to have ties to her.
His ties range a little farther out than that.
So his decision was it to make Angus or Mato Warder hers? Or his?
Somebody farther out. Tribal interest. If she's to be believed, there are people pulling her strings too.
To give the wind the Sept to the Octena.
All of this is
Why?
part of some long, strung out bid to prove that the Glasswalkers couldn't keep their bit.
It wasn't the Glasswalker's bit to keep.
Wait a minute.
Agreed.
All of this.
Does that mean she was meddling with the prior Alpha?
More than likely at this point.
Nobody knows why he walked off to die.
Oh, I know why he walked off to die, because it's pretty fucking obvious. Look at his wife.
Didn't something happen before that seemed very strange to you, Artemi? Something
Yeah.
characteristic for both. And
They went to. Their memories, including Lena's, were wiped. They had no recollection of the abuse that went on. They said they went to see a hypnotherapist.
I would very much like to meet this person.
I don't know who he is, and Lena's dead.
And somebody doesn't watch his wife.
She's been sent to the Octana.
If anybody's going to pry it out of her.
She needs a chance to recover that can't be offered. I am also asking them to take her in.
What's the official story with steel calligraphy coming back?
Got separated. Fell off a moon bridge.
Don't usually come back from that.
Yeah, the arrow's kind of loft, like, whew.
It's been gone for. Thought he presumed it was gone for a month and not the 6. Nuada is more likely being cyberized.
Do you think this could have been sabotage with the moon bridge?
Plausible. Or they're going to a cyber realm with little to no prep and no capability.
Moon bridges are not immune to meddling nor to the presence of spirits. Hostile things can be encountered on a moon bridge, and it is possible to fall off of them, especially in those encounters. It doesn't take meddling, but everything that may have set them on the moon bridge in the first place and on their path could have been meddling.
But I'm assuming she's expecting steel calligraphy will show some form of mercy.
That's the idea. She also wasn't even sure who'd do it. Me, Mato, him. Was real keen on the result, though. Just as Stone is born.
For risking a cairn?
Because she doesn't lose her rank. Stone and Scorn you can walk away from with your reputation more or less intact after a couple of months.
Free top.
Satirite takes way longer. And hell, risking a cairn? That's a hunt.
And a quartering.
Considering how lucky we are that things didn't go even worse than they did, considering what was out there waiting, considering that we were purposefully spread thin.
I wouldn't be surprised if she's tainted.
Would you like me to look? Oh, she's keys up like, oh, please.
No, but if she is fallen, she would account for that.
One doesn't have to fall to be tainted. One doesn't have to be tainted to do wormish things.
What, you mean like the corruption case a while back?
Let's glance. You mean the man whose love with a goddess was upsetting the entire area?
No, this had to do with something that went down in Europe pretty recently. I like to keep my eye on things. Whole house. Not tainted, but corrupt.
Yes. Worm taint takes time and effort to curry into being if there is not already a bane present. If there is not already a spiral or a greater Fomori present. One must do many, many wormish things to manifest worm taint on their own. You can do a great deal thinking that you are doing what is necessary or what is right and gain no taint from it, no matter how sick your behavior is.
As far as I can tell, part of this was motivated by whatever's going on the throne.
Perhaps it should have been more motivated by what's happening here that could wipe out half of the continent.
Yeah.
I could very certainly have wiped out our cairn.
Okay. We take down sludge, it'll buy us time. I don't know what we're going to do to bolster the Sept in the meantime, because it's going to take every heavy hitter we got to do that. We are going to lose people.
I can gather that they are just trying to do a major work on the Sept itself. Grant greater protection so that when others range out, it is not reliant merely on a body count.
Last thing we need is another fucking multiple cannibalism.
It's a quirk of a glance. You mean the thralls?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's someone who can call out to a dove or three. But they don't generally come along on, more like missions. Still, we can do something to shore up the Sept itself as a site, so that as we range out to deal with what must be dealt with, there's less likeliness of chaos happening behind us.
Makes sense. Do it.
I will consider what we can do to reinforce Brutus. He is, after all, a spirit well tied not only to healing, but to guardianship. Granting him the kind of boon it would take to look over the Sept and defend it, to shield it. Thankfully, we're in a good place as far as the Cairn Totem goes. And once we're done here, I will first look to see if our friend has come back, and if he has not, I will go to the Sept, and I will commune with Brutus. Let's see what it would take for us to reinforce the Sept so that it can stay stable while we take care of the threats that are nearby. If it buys us enough time for reinforcements to come, then we can begin to look to the further threat, the one that we should have been focusing on. Had we not been manipulated into making things worse at home.
The rest of us are going to have to focus on preparing any way we can.
I suppose the real question is, both can you stomach it and can you pull off convincing her that she was right and there's nothing that you can do so that she will suspect nothing until the rest come? At least now that you know, you can see her manipulation for what it is.
And David kind of rubs his forehead.
You know, but she'll stray the eyes over to Artemi again just because Artemi been quiet.
Yeah, she's just watching everybody. She's dead silent. Arms folded, leaned up against the wall.
We'll have to see what the landscape's like after the assault.
Are there any there just working closely with her?
Oh. David thinks about it. Not that I'm 100% on, but acting alpha. She could probably bully somebody. As far as I can tell, Plastics Warriors crew is loose element. Fucked with her timetable. Not something she accounted for.
And looking at this list, I know Plastic Warrior has a Theurge. And I'm not seeing any others.
Probably not on the R20, but I've seen them. I know he has the Theurge. I've met her when I did the training
know-
camp.
I know he has one. Are there any others that I'm missing that just aren't visible?
Bootlaces.
Am I just spacing when I looked? I did.
Bootlaces Theurge.
No, he's a Ragabash.
Oh shit! I thought it was a Theurge.
I
Me
did
too.
for a hot second.
No, he's a Ragabash.
Oh,
He's
I
a
legit thought
Ragabash
it was
with
a
the best
Theurge.
awakened
I
lead
did too.
eye, I guess.
Yeah, like
Whew. Well then, 2-man lift. We probably don't have to coax the Philodox to do his job. She does glance over. What Plastic Warriors Theurge and I have not seen eye to eye, but I will need her to put in everything she has. Unless there is a different favor we should ask.
He's a real big fan of mine.
Well, if we can get it without wasting a favor.
Depends on how it's pitched. He showed up here with the idea of moving in and ruling the roost.
Perhaps the idea that knowing that Ictana are coming, and they do have a certain predisposition towards his people, perhaps pitching in everything he can will afford him well. Is Theurge giving it her all to protect the cairn? Will make a difference.
Yeah. All right. Everybody knows what they got to prepare, who they got to talk to.
Something for you, Bob.
Yeah.
Apparently, Link just wanted me to pass on that human error was not supposed to be a stone of scorn. It was supposed to be a satire.
Well, fudgesicles.
Yeah, he just
That
totally blanked and put the
changes the tenor of a lot. Ah,
I mean, even a satire is one rank down. It is not the same as you would get for risking a cairn.
yeah. Okay, we'll just drive forward.
Yeah, we will just assume
Okay.
that the reaction were appropriate to that.
Yeah. Gasp.
Should we let the ranking members talk then, and I will go and look and see if our dear friend has come back to roost.
You two do that.
Yeah. If nothing else, the silence from Artemi, she's just gonna. If Artemi wanted to say something, she would. So perhaps, left to consult Alpha and Beta, she will. So, Featherlight just gestures Jacqueline like, "Come on, let's go on a walk." Essentially, goes
Yep.
to slide out the back door.
Jacqueline follows out after Featherlight.
Yeah, Timmy just remains where she is, just watching. They're watching you both leave.
At this point, David's just kind of looking out the window.
Oh yeah, and you'll see them. Featherlight isn't going to be sneaky about anything. She will, latch arm in arm, like, "Oh, let's go on a walk," because it just makes it really weird when she does it, and she's trying to unnerve Jacqueline at least just a touch, just because it makes her feel better. And they will be sauntering off towards the spooky house.
So what are you telling them that you're going to tell me?
You were right.
I was right.
Yeah. The day we all went in that den, we saw something wrong, told us all it was bad news, and I would just Didn't fucking listen. Put my faith in the wrong people.
You did. And what was it worth?
That's what I believed in.
She takes a couple of steps forward and takes one of the beers out of the six pack and just trails her nails along it and walks over and just sets it down beside him. And I believed in you.
Guess we both got let down pretty hard then, huh?
Yeah. We did.
I ain't leaving. Not until this gets set straight.
She thinks a bit, watching. You were so adamant that you would.
I was wrong.
She does her work well, Typhon does. Because the masterclass of what she's doing to you, to lean forward, you coming with your confession after every inch of lies that I've seen in this place, made me doubt the one person I thought wouldn't lie to me if I asked him straight.
Thought I was doing the right thing.
I'm not going to say something petty back. You know how I feel.
Yeah.
She'll glance around, and again, she just reassures herself that Featherlight and Jacqueline are gone. She just nods to herself and then just lets out a breath. If you're staying, gestures at the beer, that goes first.
Yeah, he didn't touch it.
Because, I don't got much people left here. And I don't want to lose faith in the ones I have left. As much as I'd love to slap you in the face, it's just let's have a breath. Be my alpha again, David. Prove it to me. And then you'll have me back.
Yeah, David doesn't say anything.
She lets out a breath and just starts to walk towards the door. Let me know when the bird comes back. She opens it and just steps outside. Unless David, of course, is getting up to stop her or any of that shit. She's not. She's rubbing at her face as well because rage is hard.
They'll do it again.
What?
People behind this. They'll do it again.
Turns. Will you?
No.
Then no more lies. Face her properly.
She doesn't come out of this clean.
I don't care about her. She's not the one I'm fighting for, David. She never has been. I wanted you to prove me wrong, and Layla wrong. I still want you to. I'll be waiting. It's, walks out. Finally. Not letting David see that, like, her eyes are starting to water. Because she's already hurt him enough. Like, she's already done it enough.
Yeah, David doesn't go after her.
All right. So as mom and dad have their talk, as it were, while the kids are out on a walkie, they will approach the spooky house, where, damn it, David, poor doors. She'll have to go nail them back up so that she can keep slithering in and out. But she will just kind of nudge one of them open a bit more. Careful so that it doesn't topple, because David plus crowbar equals very effective door opening. But she will slide in, a stride ahead of Jacqueline, just because it is, it's a spot that she is familiar with and she wants to do a quick scan. So she'll quickly step out of the way.
Yeah. It's not that hard because even Jacqueline takes a minute to look at, like, wow. It's. David had a crowbar. There were smashing sounds in the house. She assumed those sounds meant something. And they meant something. But they didn't mean what she assumed. And yet at the same time, so effective.
Look, all doors that were once closed are now open.
Yeah. It's just like.
Yeah, there's a bit of a lean into the dark. Are you home yet?
I take it you're searching for your burb friend.
Yes.
So, all of you, please do me a favor, as I'm going to steal a leaf out of a certain director's book and make me a perception alertness check, difficulty 4.
Ooh, okay.
Oh boy.
And that's all of you, not just the 2 in the house.
Give me a second. I need to see what my perception is. Because I know what my alertness is.
Oh, wow. Artemi is just all big girls don't cry so hard she can't pay attention.
Damn. Look, she's working through a lot right now, man.
Apparently.
That was a heavy fucking talk, man. Jeez, I'm not on my A game.
Well,
I'm not even gonna blame her for that. She gotta step outside, pull herself together.
when you realize your friend's life has been a lie for the better part of a year, if not longer. Cool.
We'll just assume
So,
it's in the backyard.
anyone with more than one success will hear the sound of a relatively low-flying plane. It's not that long after that you can hear the echoes of a high-caliber round. And finally, those with 3 successes can hear the sound of something going through Roy Jensen's roof.
David comes running out.
Yeah, so does Jacqueline.
Gunshot?
Oh, there was a gunshot, all right.
There was a gunshot, something falling through Roy Jensen's roof.
Yeah, Featherlight's tearing out of there, and we're gonna call it Glabro. We're gonna be real good at calling Glabro.
Oh, that's good. That's good. He does manage to do what he needs to do. That's good. Yeah, no, as you all are running to outside of the commotion, except for Artemi, who is lost within her own thoughts right now, you can indeed see Roy Jensen's beautiful house having a hole the size of a Volkswagen in the front of his roof facing the road.
Where'd the gunshot come from, buddy?
Up.
It came from up.
Yeah, it came from up. Like it was distant sounding, like it happened. You know how you're in a car, you can hear a gun go off and it's behind you? Kind of thing?
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
You know what? Seeing that, Jacqueline's gonna spend 2 rage. Partly to get into the house faster, and partly out of the fear that she's not going to like what she sees when she gets in the house.
Sure. As
There'll be kind of a annoyed squawk through the fucking link as, yeah, Featherlight's tearing out.
There is a vague smell of smoke inside starting to happen. And it's probably one part dust, one part minor amount of smoke. The astute of you can also hear the sound of water lines that have just been busted. As you reach the house, and unless you all have bothered to keep it locked, it's open. I'm going to be nice. And you can indeed hear the sound of water gushing forth. You can smell musty boards that have cracked. You can hear the sound of gas hissing to an extent. And you can hear a moaning coming from the basement.
Does the hole go right down through to the basement?
It went through the attic, through the roof of the first floor, the ground floor, through the floor into the basement.
Yeah, David runs down mostly to shut the gas off and maybe the water, depending on how the house is. I don't think they have
Yeah, there should be a main.
Yeah.
Jacqueline will
They've had plenty of time to explore the house.
Jacqueline will drop down the hole.
Yeah, otherwise you just go slither through the fucking hole.
Down in the hole, in the darkness of the basement, the smell of mildew is permeated. The smell of raw earth is down there. It's an unfinished basement. There are tons of broken canning jars lying askew. Racks upon racks have fallen over. And in the midst of all of it, covered in various goo and detritus, littered with potholes from glass in his face and in his body, is your dear bird friend, Lee. His legs are twisted this way and that. His arms look like they're broken in at least 3 or 4 places. His face is swollen up to the size of a melon. His eyes swollen shut. As he just has these terrible scars across his face.
Oh, Jesus.
And one gaping gut shot, bleeding. He lies still for a good little while if you're looking at him. But after about 30 seconds, he will take in a ragged breath.
I'm not gonna lie. Jacqueline's gonna take a reach for that. Not the fact that he's still alive, but seeing him laying there motionless and in that state. Take a reach for that.
Nope, sorry, headcanon. It's because he's still alive.
She'll turn to Featherlight. Do you think you can put him back together?
I mean, Featherlight's already walking over because, look, she has shit to do. She has a deal to make good on. She has questions. You don't get to die. No, she's storming up and just planting a hand, not on the gut wound, but not too far above it, probably up on his sternum, just dunk. And we're going to boom a heel in.
Sure. Give him a heal.
I'm gonna.
Rollover damage is a bitch.
Yes, it is. Thankfully, get to heal the worst stuff first. So, what is his rage?
2.
I was gonna say, I assume that he's normally low, and on top of that,
Yeah, cracks rarely develop it above a 3.
well, that's good because my dice for this are poop. Well, on the bright side, that's a pretty solid heal.
That's a pretty solid heal, and that actually will help out a lot. As
Breathe now. Put your organs back together.
oh, he gets to breathe a little bit. The worst wound out of all this, well, wounds I should say, it's just the broken bones that you hear just snapping back into place, and it's It's kind of like this teeth grinding sound, just like as you see his bones start to shape themselves back in quick popping motions. It's healing all right, but it's obviously not a fun experience.
No. And being the merciful, just angelic creature that she is, it's plant the hand, pump the healing through, and then immediately just demand, what shot you and where is it?
Just black ichor coming out of his mouth, and you realize it's not really ichor, it's just the blood that is coagulated.
Yep. Chunklets.
There's even bits of maybe viscera in there. Just
That's fine. He won't need those. He's got new ones.
nope. He's in that state where he's still stunned. He's not quite awake. He's not quite knocked out.
Yeah. No, Featherlight will even snag one of those bits of organ, just be like, I'm just going to pull this out. That's going to get stuck in your throat. Yoink!
Whoa. The smell down here is absolutely repulsive. You can, taking a look at him now that his body is beginning to heal back to a degree, you see on his face, which is slightly come down, that there's parts of his jaw that are showing. He has teeth missing. One eye is still completely swollen shut. He just looks up at you. Anything for my girl. Was looking for you.
You know what? A quick question, Link. Does it look
Sure.
like you got super fucking work over, or is this just him hitting the house?
That would be a perception medicine check.
I'm gonna make one then. I have
or
a dice pool.
torture check if you have it.
Ooh, you went really quiet.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll make the perception medicine roll too.
Second roll.
Perception torture.
If I'd known that was something I could buy, I'd have it.
It's a secondary skill that you're more than welcome to take.
That's fine. I'll have points later. For now, it's gonna have to be medicine.
That's fine. That is no successes for that. And one success for that for Featherlight. You think the vast majority of this what came from the impact with the house, but you can tell he's been worked over. He's got telltale scarring on his skin that's very similar to what happens to you all with silver scars.
Essentially, I'm assuming it's the equivalent of like things start knitting up, but some of the things that are pretty mild and should have wicked right off are still definitely very blaring lines, like like Silverwood leave.
Pretty much. Like if you were to compare it to silver scars, they do fade over time, like all scars do. But the way I've always kind of interpreted it is once you heal the wound, it's that bright, angry red, and then it fades to the pink, and then eventually that silver white for us Caucasians.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
For-
essentially,
It's the angry red.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who got a hold of you?
He looks confused almost. Was looking. What? Who? I was. And you can see him visibly trying to remember. It's like his brain doesn't want to connect the dots.
She'll be I assume David's still doing the whole like I'm gonna turn off the water, I'm gonna turn off the gas. Our Timmy's
It takes a minute.
what the fuck? There is a hole in the house.
Oh yeah, like the way Jensen's house is set up, he effectively went through the water heater
Oh Jesus Christ.
and through part of Jensen's bedroom wall and bedroom into the basement.
All right. So, eventually seeing Roy's distract house, which of course breaks Artemi's soul in half because god damn it. But she wades her way down the water looking for Featherlight and Jacqueline.
You find them in the basement.
Featherlight is looming over him, and Glabro probably still has a hand, at this point, kind of resting on his chest, but he's still all kinds of fucked up on the floor.
He's weakly holding like your thumb and part of your hand, but he can't manage anything more than like what a baby would do.
Jacqueline is waiting nearby, watching.
She'll feed through the link. Somebody got a hold of him. He's got signs of. Looks like Silver.
Does he know who?
I think they've tried to use something to do away with the memory. He's having trouble putting it together. He just says he was looking for me. He isn't even acknowledging that he's been shot. And how fucked up is he still?
It's fading now. Like, to give you an idea, like raw mechanics, he was sitting on, through compound damage, 4 levels of ag and 3 levels of lethal, and had rage healed the last lethal before it converted.
Oh, Jesus. Good roll, buddy.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So he's still sitting on 3 lethal, but it's enough that Featherlight will begin. You know, it's the whole, I'm just going to take what's left of your shirt, and we're just going to hoist you up, buddy. You're not we're just going to...
You know what? He can't activate who he can't indicate who did this. Jacqueline will activate Shadow Weaving. I'll spend the point of Gnosis and roll Dexterity Occult.
Ooh. Okay. My brain's trying to remember exactly how that works.
Essentially, like, it can do things like give you bennies to stuff like stealth, like in my game, for every successive.
It gives you basically a reduced diff. I think they write up as 1 reduced diff in stealth or intimidation. It's basically like the level 1 object.
Yeah, I see it.
Power, yeah, that's basically what it is.
Yeah. You can also just do wiki shit then.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
As he's holding his gut, grimacing his eyes, being sit up, trying gingerly not to get stabbed with any of the glass from the canning jars.
That's part of why she's trying to essentially hook him up. She's in Glabro. She's got a little more strength. Is trying to hoist him up.
Oh, you can easily.
His feet.
He weighs $150 soaking wet. He's easy.
Oh yeah. It's essentially you're sitting in broken glass, and I don't even know what used to be in it, but you probably shouldn't be sitting in it with open wounds. So I'm just gonna whoop.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And while Featherlight is doing that, she may notice, or Timmy will likely notice, Jacqueline spends a point of Gnosis. Her hand goes up, and she just makes a wrapping emotion, like she's wrapping something with her hand.
Mm-hmm.
And the shadows bend and pull in around her. Stay close. We don't know who did this to him. Or why. They might be looking to confirm he is in fact dead.
You know what? Artemi just glances over her shoulder and I'll spend for heightened senses.
Sure. It is a wonderfully calm day outside. You don't even hear the mailman's traffic right now.
Let's ease him inside. I have something that might get the memories out of him.
Yes. I'll have to grab this later.
Meanwhile, David just, finally. All right, gas and water are shut off, so is electric.
The electric was the tricky bit because open lines are a bitch.
Yeah.
Just found that one big fucking thing at the bottom with your dunk.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
One of the other big kids wants to hoist him off Featherlight. She's not going to fight them, but if they don't, then she will just hoist him and carry him out because he's so tiny. Even she can do it in Glabro.
He holds on to you very tightly, I will say that, or as tightly as he can.
He's got the little double handful of shirt, like, yeah.
Pretty much.
Jacqueline will go up ahead of Featherlight and Bird.
Oh, yeah. She will totally pace just behind you to take advantage of what you're doing. She's a smart girl. And what with it being evening, yeah, get us all the way to the house with nobody seeing. Perfect.
Oh yeah, guys, get him back in, no problem. He bleeds a little bit on your floor and your porch. I'm not gonna lie. Gut wounds are a bitch. But as you get him in there, I have to ask, what are you doing first, y'all? Because he's kind of got like a wide-eyed look, quite literally like a wounded animal.
Jacqueline, I want you to get me scented candles from my room and the incense in my drawer. Now, make sure he can see you leave.
She'll nod, and she doesn't run. She goes slow, careful, deliberately, so that he can see her leaving. And she goes up the stairs, and once she's at the top of the stairs, again, she's not running. It's a brisker pace, but she's being careful to not make too many loud noises to startle him.
Featherlight, I want you to act as a base structure for him to cling on to. You have the biggest attachment to him, at least in his mind.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Featherlight has gotten him inside. She wasn't sure where to put him, so she's just been kind of holding him. But with that, she nods and kind of glances around the floor, looks her to me like, am I good, essentially?
Please stay where you are. This will be easier.
Do you want me to sit or stay standing?
Sit. You're his base, not his. No, you're not towering over him.
No, she will just take a second and carefully ease herself down, so she essentially has a bird in her lap.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
For the briefest moment, you will actually feel his arm that is holding on to you start to swell in size, but then it goes back down.
Yep, she just gets nested down, keeps him tucked in the lap. And, I mean, if she's not very good at human things, but she's very good at animalistic things, and one of them is mantling over something that is hers. This is her toy. Only she is supposed to break it. It's not her family, but it's her toy. So she just kind of, isn't going to mantle at Artemi or at David or at her packmates, but it's still something that might register in the back of his little bird brain. It's just a very mine kind of posture that he can cling to.
He just kind of mumbles right now because he seems to be getting some of his senses back, like his other eye has started opening. And he just kind of mumbles under his breath, "Well, it's hurt a lot, but not as much as that fall."
And being her ever informative self is just, you did break half a house.
Only half.
Only half.
Thought I felt no walls. Oh.
Yeah, she just sorry, she's just waiting for Artemi.
It's fine.
Yeah, but once Artemi goes, gets several strips of paper, just gets a pen very easily, and wait for Jacqueline to arrive.
Yeah, Jacqueline will come back down the stairs. Make sure he can see her coming, and she'll give the candles and incense, and honestly, probably her lighter to Artemi.
Artemi just puts the candles in a semicircular fashion, lights the incense very carefully, interlocking it, and Artemi will begin the rite Soothe the Scars, which is all about helping people open up from abuse such as torture.
Ooh.
It's a black fear rite. It's mainly used on women and children, but she figures, you know what? It's still the victim of abuse either way. Victim of violent abuse, especially.
Okay. I'll kind of feed you the start of it, but then we'll go from there.
Mm-hmm. What you do is just very easily take a pen and just ease down, keeping the incense around her so she even smells relaxing, smells, to a wild animal, just smells disarming. And she just slides it over.
I was following up on this stalker business. I followed a car that left something in the mailbox.
What color was the car?
It was a blue car.
Any make or model that you remember?
It's He just shakes his head.
Okay. So you're following a car, blue car, and following up on the stalker business to make sure everybody was safe, right?
Yeah.
Chia rips the piece of paper out and just places it on one of the candles and places it down in the little ashtray they probably have or something like that and just lets it burn and he can see it.
It followed to a parking garage.
Where's the parking garage?
S-
What city?
Pueblo.
Pueblo. Any particular neighborhood? Any signs did you see? Anything tiny. Often when we're trying to relive these things, tiniest details start to emerge.
I could see an Otali sign near.
Tell me. And you got close to the parking?
They went in on the top floor.
Top floor. Okay.
Got it. Gave a Polaroid to somebody in a van and left. Van took off. Followed the van.
Okay.
Van went to Pueblo West. Passed by that law firm I looked into the other week for you. Passed by this place called the Butcher Shop.
The butcher shop.
Mm-hmm. Saw about 6 guys talk to the people in the van or person or whatever. Thought there were people, but couldn't tell.
Okay. Did you recognize any of them?
Couldn't see them. Bandanas, sunglasses.
Any symbols? Like a gang sign?
Wearing camouflage hoodies. That was it.
Okay.
Jacqueline will just, through the link to our Timmy. What color were the bandanas?
Quiet. Don't interrupt me when I'm doing this.
There's a nod.
So, camouflage bandanas.
Mm-hmm.
Any type of bandana? Pattern, color?
White with red spots.
Okay. Then what happened?
Then the 6 went inside the shop. The van went around back and pulled into looked like garage area. I went in, not in. I went. And he does this thing where he looks like he just got a brain freeze for a second.
It's okay. It's okay. Just take a deep breath of the incense. It helps. You have your featherlight. Everything is fine.
He kind of puts his hand and squeezes it gently on Featherlight.
Featherlight is the very image of tolerance for all that. Let's face it, she's not an especially nurturing creature, but she will absolutely let him do whatever seems to comfort him. She's still just kind of mantled over him.
I was tired of seeing my friends get freaked out. So I went further than I would have. I went across to make sure what was what. Flooded with Bane, so I didn't even bother trying to go in. I waited, and I guess something got wise. Somebody put me in a bag. Next thing I know, I'm hearing voices talking about dealing with another damn bird again. And doing something to make Sun happy. I got hit around a lot.
Did any of them take off their masks?
Didn't see anyone. Was in a bag.
Any names that you heard?
Sun. This is where I have to check my files. Give me just a second. Jerry. Israel. And Trent.
Trent.
Talked about doing something for Trent. Not making Sun mad. Said they said something about making sure they got the package for the hotel bitch.
A hotel bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's next bit's blur. I'm in a hole, some stupid box. I must have passed out because I was like this and they kept poking me with the gold needles. They knew what the fuck I was. Knew that it wouldn't kill me. Knew that it would hurt like hell. Didn't even ask me anything. Just toying with me.
How did you escape?
I didn't. They decided to get rid of me. Decided to make it look like an accident. They took me in a plane. shot me in the gut and threw me out after I'd been beaten.
Plane. Did you see make a model? I need some logo on the plane.
I had a bag on my head till they threw me out. I think it was a single engine.
Single engine plane. Okay.
Couldn't have
Yeah.
been enough room for 8 people.
Yeah. Takes the last of the paper and just burns it, the last of it, and then she just gives a smile. See? Well done.
I'm sorry I don't know more.
There's nothing to apologize for. Let the scars heal now. And let it relax your mind.
And he actually looks like he has a bit of weariness leave him from this. He doesn't look any less damaged by any stretch of the imagination, but he eases back a little bit, and instead of passing out from pain, it looks as if now it's just exhaustion.
And once he sleeps, she just blows out the candles one by one and eases out the lotus position she was in. Glancing back, because I'm assuming the gang have appeared at this point.
Oh yeah.
And you've got all the names.
Yes.
Would you like me to find one? All I have, I just need a name.
Start low on the pegging order.
We'll go with Jerry. He sounds like he'll squeal.
Yeah.
And I will activate Pulse of the Prey on Jerry, because all I need is just a name, which is the creepy thing about Pulse. I love it so much.
Oh,
my
Pulse of the
God.
Prey is beautiful, man. Like, no joke. It's one of the best gifts for doing things like what you're doing. Let's see. Let's see. You know the name. Yeah. No, you definitely get a tug, all right. And the general direction of the tug is northeast toward Colorado Springs.
Got watch our Timmy just ease up and just start walking towards the direction, like not walking off or anything, but northwest, Colorado Springs.
Got it.
As you look out, for the record, you can see that the mailbox is slightly open from where you are. And you can definitely see the tail end of something that's poking out of it.
Yeah, she's gonna walk walking towards it. She'll cautiously fish it out.
Yeah, it is. Well, it looks like it was a harness or the remnants of a harness that's been shredded a little bit. And written in Sharpie on part of it, it says J. Hayden.
Yeah, she'll come back inside with the harness.
And David will examine it.
It's old. Weather beaten.
J. Hayden.
Okay, I'm assuming you're talking about a climbing harness, Link?
Oh, I sure am.
Okay. Yeah, Jacqueline will take another point of rage.
Doesn't ring a bell for me.
Nor me.
It's me.
Who's Jay Hayden?
Jacqueline Hayden.
Huh.
Jacqueline's actually going to sit down and take a look at the harness. Because
Oh, you remember that harness vividly, whether you'd want to or not. You'll never be able to forget that harness. That's the harness you were wearing the day you fell off. The day it happened.
I was wearing this the day I had my change. My first change.
So what? We're being forced to relive painful memories of our past by some. What's the end game here?
Don't know. Intend to find out.
Are we going now or?
Somebody needs a slap.
Featherlight, make me a perception alertness check.
Nah.
Because you're actually Artemi can too, because she has heightened senses still activated.
Just sitting here like, if you said the right thing, I'm just going to make this uncomfortable for everyone. Everyone except me.
Ooh. That's one success, and that is 3 successes. Ooh.
Do it. I dare you.
So Featherlight will remember the scent a little bit. It's familiar, but that is legitimately all she fucking remembers. And Artemi will smell the traces of sweat on it. And it has the lingering scent of Purebreed on it.
Artemi sniffs. What type of purebreed we talking here?
Wendigo.
There's like these sniffs and then it's like a furrow of a brow. David, that's Wendigo.
What the fuck?
That's Wendigo. That's Wendigo. That's their smell.
What's the smell off of?
It's off the harness.
Yeah, Featherlight is just kind of like perked up and drifted the head a bit. Thankfully, Artemi supplied the answer. She's just kind of mulling.
Oh, Jesus, she wasn't kidding.
What, so they're targeting us?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
During her little motive rant, she surmised the Wendigo would try to pick some of us off in the meantime.
Pick some of us off.
Yeah.
With what motivation?
In her mind, pure unbridled hatred.
Against. What have I done to the Wendigo?
As far as they're concerned, you're on their land, but then again, shrugs.
Older brother's land.
We're not going to know the reality until we get a hold of one of them.
Finally, like, pries out a hand to, like, do the stretch little grabby hands, like, eh, eh.
Taking a look at the harness.
Oh, she just wants to get a proper nose full.
Good. Remake me that check.
Sorry, go ahead, Torno 2.
Yeah, pass it over.
Yeah.
Remake that check for me.
Oh, we'll try again. Gotta get a...
And you can spend a willpower on it if you'd like.
probably will, because this could be important. She doesn't like the idea of little brother getting out of hand. 2. Unless the diff is really low.
No, it's not so much it's really low as you get more of an up close scent to it. And here's what I didn't tell you about that. The diff for this was actually higher.
Oh.
You get the feeling that the Wendigo scent on it is old. It's not new by any means. You smell something else there. There's a deeper smell in there that is... It doesn't... God, you know this smell. It's on the tip of your tongue. Like, you know it. It's going to rack your brain until you remember it.
Yeah.
But you recognize the scent. There's someone else's scent on there that's a lot fresher. It's just not as strong.
Yeah, it's one of those things where she takes it and she literally does like shove it right up under her nose and get a good like pulls in a lungful. Very, very canine. Just I'm gonna snuffle this real good.
You can make me an extended check over the next little bit if you want to, just to try to surmise where you might have smelt it from, kind of thing.
Yeah, she will just kind of keep it nestled there and keep kind of snuffling like, no, I'm not. No, it's there. I know it's there. You can see the thinky face. But she will mutter, the Wendigo smells old. There's something else. There is someone else. And it's very faint, but it's fresher. I recognize it. I know I recognize it. Yeah, I'm gonna make extended snuffles.
Yeah, please do.
Do more snuffles!
Okay. I will tell you this with that success. Actually, 2 successes. The last time you smelled this was over a year and a half ago.
Yeah, she keeps snuffling, just keeps it tucked there, and I mean, for all the world, she looks like a fucking psycho, but it's not someone from here. It's not someone who's here now. It's someone else.
Go ahead and make me one more.
Throws dice angrily at the wall.
Yeah, I'll even show you a picture of who it reminds you of. Give me just a second. Oh, where is he?
Knock off that will be.
Oh, here, back.
There he is. The former Sept Alpha who underwent the rite of the Winter Wolf, whispered Fury. It smells like him.
Yeah, when it finally makes its way slowly to the frontal lobe, she pauses and she holds it and looks at it like it's fucking wronged her almost. And then pulls it in for another sniff, just to be sure. And then holds it out. Offers it back up to her Timmy. For any of you, Jacqueline, you were here, weren't you?
Yeah, my whole life, basically.
You met the prior alpha before Jack?
All of you did meet him, even if you didn't spend much time around him.
It's him. It smells like him. It's fresher than the Wendigo, but it's very, very faint. You must not have handled it very much.
But he's dead.
That's all. Don't know. It's an old smell for me. But, she kind of like does the wiggle. Like, I mean, you guys fucking look. Whatever form you need to, but. Okay. I I can't tell. It's fresher than the Wendigo, but I can't tell how recently he handled it. What is that beeping?
Sorry.
Okay, I thought it was in my house for a second. Threw me off.
Nope, no fire alarm.
She offers it back. Just no, it's him. This isn't. Unless someone is trying to make it look that way, it is not little brother.
So a dead elf has sent us on this, or well, obviously not. And why are they sending it to us?
To get a reaction.
Rattle our cage.
And I mean, at least in Featherlight's case, absolute certainty to get a reaction. That's why Featherlight does so much of what she does. She knows that shit.
Should they know who we are, where we live, where we come from?
Where was the harness?
It was in the mailbox.
Okay. How long has it been between each item coming here?
They're between each event happening. It's basically over the course of about a month.
Carve it out. Almost one a week.
I look forward to seeing what they try to send to get a reaction out of me.
I think I need to call my grandfather.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna be a total weird ass.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna sniff the Korax too.
Oh, sure. Like, how hardcore are you sniffing him?
Well, he said he got put in a bag.
He got put in a bag. He's also been covered in various canning fluids.
Whatever part of him was upright and less saturated in fucking
That would be his
pickle and-
face.
That's okay. She'll sniff his face. She's a fucking weird ass. She's not gonna balk. She will straight lean down and start snuffling his face. He's fucking dead out.
Oh,
got
yeah,
a lot
he
of
is.
work to do. He's not gonna bother. He's not gonna mind. He'd probably think it was hot.
Fucking weirdo Featherlight. Yeah, I mean, he definitely has the smell of blood, fear on him. He's got the smell of sweat and oil and alcohol on him. He's got a scent you can't really identify too well on there, just because you have no frame of reference for it.
Smells like a bird.
I mean, that's not what I was getting at, but yes. I mean, to be fair, Torna, that probably is perfectly fine too, but I'm not going there in an open, recording.
I didn't even see it till you commented. Oh, no. Poor Timmy. Jesus.
Sure, I wasn't even one thinking it.
I started this.
God damn it.
Yeah, and you get the smell of something. He smells like he's got dead on him.
He's got some dead on him.
He's got some dead on him. Not like red on him. He's got dead on him.
Oh, like that, I mean, Featherlight knows what dead things smell like. We're
Yeah.
talking, like freshly dead, old dead, preserved dead.
Old dead.
Like we're talking like dried old dead.
It could be considered that, sure.
Essentially, as opposed to old as in rotting, I'm assuming old as in like when she pulls out mom to say hi. Like
Yes. Yes.
that kind of dead.
Yes.
Because mom's dried up. Mom's in a shape. Yeah, she gives him a good snuffle, like a fucking weirdo. If she's lucky, it'll halt conversation because
As you
it wouldn't be that weird.
as you jostle him slightly, he has what appears to be a crumpled dollar bill fall out of his pocket. It's covered in a white powder.
That gets a more cautious sniff, not a full nose fucking plant.
That woo, even with eating a little bit, woo.
You ever seen like a dog sneeze?
Yeah.
It,
Yep.
She kind of like she snuffles him into and then the dollar falls out. What's that white stuff? She gives a sniff and does like the dog sneeze and just kind of like flicks it over there. She didn't like that.
You would be correct, by the way, Torna.
So yeah, whoever happens to be actually keeping an eye on Featherlight's stupid antics will see her lean down, actually snuffle his face, kind of get distracted, pick up something right near his pocket, give it a sniff, and flick a dollar bill like, ugh, nope, don't like it.
But she reaches over like the evidence. You know what I mean?
Dense. Evidence.
Evidence.
That's how I got my father.
Yeah, she just,
Yeah, no. You'll just pick up the dollar bill, hand it over to David, because you know what? David seems like more knowledge about the drugs.
the drugs.
Why you got to be talking about the drugs?
That. Whew.
Is it good cocaine or is it cut cocaine?
Well, let's see. Does David taste it?
David,
Yeah.
Poke your tongue out.
Yeah.
All right. So, how much experience does David? You know what? Fuck it. I'll do it this way. Make
David
me a
parties.
perception streetwise check.
All right.
Oh my
Haven't
God.
done this in a while.
Why are we dumb?
Let me take a look.
Perception streetwise.
I'm spending a willpower on this. I want to know.
Did David party when he was younger?
Yeah.
Make it diff 5.
In New Mexico, man. Yeah, he did.
Make it diff 5.
So with the
Okay.
willpower, that's 4 successes.
Okay. No, it's not entirely pure. It's cut with something, but that something is not another drug.
That is cut with.
It tastes like ashes.
It's. Oh, for all I know, I just ingested somebody's grandma a little bit.
But the Coca-Cola is great.
Yeah, the actual Coke is. But that is ashes. I'm getting hints of oak.
Do me a favor. Make me a stamina check.
Absolutely.
And this has nothing to do with getting high.
Aww.
Actually, wait. It's not stamina. It's gnosis. Make me a gnosis check.
Okay. You guys notice this real quick. I think it's actually pretty decent.
Don't worry, I'm pretty sure you have to botch for this to go bad.
David,
Well,
Yeah.
no, because it's not full on that. It's something else.
David is now Willy Wonka in the background.
Scroll. To check my gnosis rating. Because I want to say it's 3, but it's been a while since I
It
looked at
is.
the sheet.
It is.
All right.
Let's see what you get, buddy. You
I have no
a
idea what to make of that.
You have a single success, so you don't vomit on the spot. However,
Okay.
the urge is rising very quickly as you have just put something vile into your body, and you know that on a deep level.
So David immediately, what he does is, Link, we're going fucking scorched earth with this. It's the vinegar.
Uh huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he's gonna chemically induce vomiting into the kitchen sink.
Go for it.
So you watch David guzzle vinegar until he just horks into the fucking sink. Oh, that's dead people. Oh god.
Dead
that was
people.
100% dead people.
No, he smells like dead people. Points down.
Dead.
No, you don't get it. That's leech ash, man. Ah, pah, pah.
Exactly. You recognize the taste now.
What, they snorted cocaine mixed with leech ash?
Okay, so I'm gonna break this down. Leech slaves feed on leech blood,
Yeah.
and sometimes it gets mixed into drugs. But whoever did this borked it. They decided to cut it with the ash. Don't know why.
But it-
does smell like the dead.
Now make me that stamina check, David.
Oh boy.
This is the fun part. Actually, yeah, stamina works just fine.
Okay.
I was going to say willpower, but no stamina. Okay. You get 3 successes. You don't do it, but you actually feel the desire after you have vomited all that up to have a second taste.
David takes the dollar bill and puts it on the strainer over the sink and then turns on the water. Nope. That is going down the drain. Nope. That is bad.
There's a part of you that looks at that and it's like, but I wanted it. But no, God damn it, you don't get a vote. But I
Doesn't
wanted
get a
it.
vote.
You don't get a vote.
The sweet water of Colorado is the vote. It holds majority share.
It does. But there, all of you can actually see him. And there's a longing sadness as he does this, as he forces himself. As you see his hand shaking for just a second as he puts the dollar bill under the water, washing all the remnants of it off.
Oh, I swore I'd never do coke again after senior year. Oh, fuck. Oh, it was fucking gross. Don't ask me to do that again.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna need a cleansing after this.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go make that phone call now.
Okay.
And the light does the little microwave.
Jacqueline just walks over to the phone, picks it up, calls her grandfather.
In the middle of the night.
Yep.
I mean, this is fair.
I mean, gain an hour, lose an hour. There's only so many reruns of Matlock.
It doesn't answer on the first, second, third, or fourth ring. But on the 5th ring, you do get a pickup. This is Elizabeth speaking. How may I help you?
Elizabeth.
Yes. And she says your grandfather's name. I'm his live-in nurse.
Oh, right. Hi, Elizabeth. I need to speak to my grandfather. It's extremely important.
Oh. Let me see if he's still awake. He was a few minutes ago. She calls out. Nothing. Calls out again. You hear grumbling in the background. Sorry, it'll be just a second. He apparently fell asleep while watching Night Court. I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
you hear a kind of step, step, thump. Step, step, thump. Is the sound of like a very heavy set individual walking that's using a cane. So as a point of reference and a point of story, when was the last time Jacqueline saw her grandfather? Her guru grandfather.
Probably either right before or right after she made Foster.
Okay. So as a point of thing, and because we don't have it, and it adds a little bit of tension to the story without giving you guys a gut punch, you know that your grandfather has been petitioning to have his own Rite of the Winter Wolf done for over 3 years and has been denied from his superiors each time. And now has assisted living going on with a kinfolk nurse.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind with Grumpy Grandpa.
Yep.
Granddaughter,
Grandfather?
I was watching my stories. Is there a problem? And it's kind of got that, like I said, that very heavy set sounding voice where the B's start to like roll like an R would.
It is. Do you remember when I had my climbing accident and the harness broke?
Yeah. Proudest day of my life.
That harness just turned up in my mailbox, Grandfather.
You can hear the silence on the other end of confusion. Did you get someone to find it for you for sentimental reasons?
No. I thought you had it all these years.
No, I didn't bother looking for it. You were more important.
There's a slight little like aw, but also that doesn't make her feel any better. So it's aw shit. Do you have any idea why it would seem that it has been in the hands of Whispered Fury then?
The old Alpha? He's
Mhm.
dead.
I know, but his scent is on it.
Unless he was just trying to do veil cleanup back then or sent someone to. That's all I can imagine. But we were out and about. Anyone that saw it would have just assumed that some animal got it. Jacqueline, the man's dead. Even the spirit said so.
I know. It's an old smell.
Then what probably happened is he cleaned up the veil and threw it somewhere. That's what I can imagine. How it got found after that, I don't know, unless someone's trying to get to you. Who
Oh, they're
have you been
definitely-
dealing with?
A lot.
He says these next words very slowly, and there's almost a weight to the cadence of it. Do you need a favor? And there's a lot of weight to that. And do me a favor and make me an appearance subterfuge check if you don't want to show your pack mates the horror of what that really means.
Yeah, you know what? I will.
You all can make perception empathy checks to this check if you would like.
Does pure breed apply?
Yes,
Okay.
pure breed applies to social roles. David doesn't fucking notice.
He's got his own problems right now.
David is dealing with fucking what I'm just calling now death dust. That's 2
My peony isn't even high enough.
for to get 2 successes.
I would have to beat her.
Yeah, you'd have to get 3.
I only
Oh,
have 2. I don't
Oh
have
shit. Oh fuck. Okay, yeah. Featherlight can't tell. That's on Hartimi then if she's trying to pay attention to the conversation in her.
Doing the stare, Timmy. Are you? Are you? Torna, did you fall asleep?
I think our buddy fell asleep. Which is okay. He is a busy man. He can sleep. But that's what he asks you. How do you respond?
So, out of character, Link,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of horror and fear does this fill me with?
Your grandfather's a Lord of the Summit. He's only an Adrin because he just never climbed higher. He never had the desire to climb higher. But for all intents and purposes, he's retired. But he does have political sway as a Lord of the Summit.
Oh. Oh. Yes, grandfather. I do need a favor.
Then I will send my protege to you. You might remember him. Duncan Hart. And make me a wit check to remember the person, but I'll go ahead and pop open the face for you.
Oh,
If
which?
you give me just a sec.
Okay.
Yeah, just wits. It's just seeing if you can recall as with the name.
Do, do, do.
Let's see that check. Nope. Never mind. You don't remember him.
Oh wow. No, I don't remember him actually.
It's fine. He is an initiate into the Lords of the Summit. He will be at your disposal for 1 full moon cycle. That is my favor to you.
Thank you, grandfather.
Don't break him yet. I can't do that until you're in, at least. And he's got weight in those words that you can feel chill you to the bone.
Well, with any luck, that will be happening soon.
Good. I'm going to go back and watch my stories. It's been quiet over here. And she will recall, just as a point of reference, her grandfather is actually down in Texas. Actually, no, not Texas. Yeah, Texas. Sorry, Texas.
I will look forward to seeing him. Enjoy your stories, grandfather.
Of course, they're putting away some blowhard that did a mugging. It's great.
All right. Well,
And he hangs up, but as he hangs up, he just You can hear the words being whispered almost as if he can't bring himself to say it fully. I love you, my full moon child. This clicks.
Yep. Jacqueline puts the phone back in the cradle and stands there for a minute, processing that. Then she'll come back into the living room.
David's desire to get the stuff out of the drain down the water pipe has vanished. It's been long enough now.
Hooray.
So, my grandfather never went back for the harness.
Good to know. All right. Lock everything down. We'll make our move soon, but now it's feeling like it's not the time.
He is.
Featherlight,
Hmm.
you're in charge of the bird.
Yes. Like glances down, like, yes, it's on me.
Good. He doesn't have my permission to die yet. Jacqueline,
Yes.
you know where all the guns are, right?
Always.
Good. Get some sleep. You're going to need it.
David.
Yeah.
My grandfather is sending one of his protege here.
Okay.
Hopefully, they'll be able to help us sort this mess out.
Hopefully they'll be able to help with a whole lot more than that. How long have we got him for?
Full moon.
A lot of good work to be done in the turn of a moon.
Indeed.
Get some sleep. You'll be up after I go to sleep.
Yes. Jacqueline heads up the stairs.
And Featherlight, I mean, he's in the room with you. You just watch him leave. He comes back with the shotgun and then sits down at the table with it cradled in his lap. What a perfectly shitty day.
Oh. She does point down. At least you picked a side.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
As the scene comes to a close, there's, for the sake of beauty, there's a movie coming on TV. David may have seen it. Featherlight wouldn't have cared if she had seen it or not. But it's starring Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves. One's a cop, one's a surfer. And there's bank robberies going on. Ladies and gentlemen, his watch shift starts with Point Break, and it's lovely, lovely opening. And with that, I think that's a scene.